Thanks for tuning in to the Palm Beach Podcast, a weekly show highlighting people making a positive impact in Palm Beach County. With your hosts, sports chiropractor and athletic trainer, Dr. James Spencer, photographer and art director, Mike Jones. Our show is brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Hopportunities, Indo Board, and Lotus Trips for travel and retreats to Palm Beach County. Hello, and welcome to the Palm Beach Podcast. My name is Mike Jones, hanging out at Media Zone with a couple cool people. My co-host, Dr. James Spencer. How you doing today, Spence?
You know, it's always a pleasure to see you in this beautiful studio and on beautiful Singer Island.
Sunny blue skies out there today, right?
And blue waters. I don't know if you saw, but as we drove over the bridge, Peanut Island over there is looking spectacular.
And I believe we have a special guest in the studio with us today, don't we, Spence?
We always do. We're fortunate to have Megan Hayes in here today. Thank you for coming on.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So Megan, what do you think of Media Zone?
I love it. Fantastic.
Cool spot?
Cool spot. Y'all have a great view. Love being able to see Singer Island. It's so nice outside right now. Clutch. I love it.
And I know you come from the more corporate side of media production, so we're more of like a boutique studio.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the compliment.
Oh, anytime. I just wanted to grace y'all with my presence. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it.
So tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about what you do here in the county.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, it all started in 1990 when a man met a woman.
Love it.
No, I've been here about 3 years. I work for WFLX Fox 29, and I do client content. I think my official title is multimedia journalist / digital content producer. I don't think that fits on my cards. I don't even know what my cards say. Basically, I shoot, write, edit videos, do on-air stuff for clients of the TV station, and run our lifestyle website. It's called South Florida Weekend, and it's events, things to do, cool places that are opening up, recipes, you name it. So that's pretty much what I do.
Full-blown Renaissance woman, Mike.
You know what? I do it all. I do it all. I really do.
You're like the Swiss Army knife for the local channel, right?
Basically. Whatever they need, I wear all the hats. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it's really important to be well-rounded in media because if you understand script writing and storyboarding, that helps you so much when you're in front or behind the lens and you're directing or whatever it may be.
Right.
So I think there is something to say about, usually you want to be a specialist, but I think in media, like being a generalist and understanding all those roles is super important.
You honestly, to succeed in like broadcast news right now, you have to be willing to do everything. So when I started out, I was producing a show, a newscast in Huntsville, Alabama, my hometown. And I was there for a couple of years, but I was reporting on weekends, weekend mornings. I was in at 3 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. So you have no life, but like I was reporting, producing, anchoring, like shooting all my video, editing. You have to be able to do everything these days because even the people that have been in the biz for years and years and years, they're still writing stories and they're still putting things together. It's an interesting industry. So you kind of want to dabble in everything.
What was your attraction to it?
Oh my gosh. So I wasn't good at anything else in college. I actually come from a family of like journalists. So my dad is, I don't even want to give him this compliment. And it is kind of a compliment. My dad is kind of like the Ron Burgundy of my hometown. I swear, y'all, they based that storyline on Jerry Hayes. He's been a news anchor in my hometown for 40 years, same TV station, the whole time. And if you see photos of him from like the 70s and the 80s, he's got the plaid suits, the fluffy hair, the mustache, everything. And so he was in the industry. My mom was in the industry. My stepdad. It's just kind of been a family business. And so I was like,
did he say stay classy as well? Was that his line?
No. He tried to talk me out of it. He was like, you're not going to make any money. You're going to work crazy hours. Like, it's not going to be fun. And I was like, sounds awesome. Sign me up. And that's what I got my degree in. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm going into the industry, and here we are.
So is it Roll Tide or War Eagles?
It is First of all, it is neither of those. It's just Roll Tide or War Eagle.
Oh, it's not plural eagles. There's not more than one.
I think there's just one, but it is Roll Tide for me. Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Alabama, so I don't say the other one.
Which is an important question to ask someone from your area, as we know, right?
Yeah. I told you guys, it's like a religion. If you're from the South, especially the state of Alabama, it's one or the other. Auburn or Alabama, you got to choose.
It's like you said, they're not even concerned about the COVID. It's more, hey, can we just pregame and tailgate? Right?
My Facebook feed, earlier when COVID hit, of course, everybody was nervous and trying to figure out what was going on. But the closer we get to football season, and we still haven't seen the numbers going down that much in Alabama, my Facebook timeline is now like, okay, so what about football season? Like, we're starting to panic. Now we're really starting to get upset here.
We'll do whatever we got to do.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't see how they're going to pack Bryant Denny out this year with football fans, but I don't think that'll stop the tide.
Look
We'll be fine.
look what's going on with baseball right now, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people shutting down.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have enjoyed watching the baseball games with the cardboard cutouts, though, in the
Yes.
stands. Just, it's so hilarious to me. And I've seen some reporters that have like gone up and they're like, am I supposed to be interviewing people? Because these are not real people. Like, I don't have any fans to interview.
Tell us what you think, Skip.
Yeah. He's a little quiet today.
Well, I even saw that the NFL was contemplating like putting in crowd noise as like a sound effect.
Yes, I saw that. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little inauthentic, but I don't know.
Jerry Jones would be pissed.
Well, I can vouch that on the football field, some things are said that shouldn't be heard. And if there's no crowd noise, you're going to hear things that you've never heard on the football field before.
I kind of like that, though. It's
Hey.
like it's like reality TV. Like, let's open up those mics. Let's see what they have to say.
Well, and they tried to do that with the PGA Tour, right?
Yeah.
There was a couple guys that were open to it, and a couple guys like, we don't want to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
it
think
is
they
interesting.
did. And they have mic'd up a couple guys for some things. And it's interesting. You know.
Well, the match too,
Is
they
that
had
the one they
mics.
mic'd them
Correct.
up?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Correct.
That was like the best TV value that we've had since February. Absolutely, right?
Everybody's shit talking each other.
Oh.
It was fun.
Charles Barkley is just going crazy. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Yeah, I'm an Alabama fan, but I do love Charles Barkley.
So I got to ask you, what do you think about Justin Thomas's kind of debut that time?
Yeah, he is somebody that obviously we're all pretty proud of. He's done amazing things, not just for the state of Alabama and the school, but I mean, yeah, everybody kind of focuses on like the football players and they're like, oh, who's going to make it? We're watching Tua and we're watching Jalen and watching all these guys. And like the golf world is huge, especially down here. And so Justin Thomas, I'm like, yeah, that's my boy. That's my alma mater guy. Yeah, that's my guy. He's a Tide. He's a
Taking over
Tider.
number one this week.
Yeah,
he did
I
well.
saw that. Yeah, pretty cool.
So if you get assigned to like a sporting event or something, is that something that you would look forward to
Yeah.
because of your past and stuff?
Yeah.
Sports are something that you think is a great place for you?
Yeah. I don't know that I'd necessarily want to go into sports reporting every day, but it is fun for me just to kind of get to that opportunity. I have covered a couple like big events. I covered the last BCS national championship in Pasadena. Yes, it was pretty cool. It was Auburn. So I was out there. I know. I was like, it was Auburn and FSU. And I think Jameis Winston was at FSU that year. I'm like losing track of the days. But yeah, that was a pretty cool event. And and I get to do some cool things down here too. We worked with the Palm Beach County Sports Commission on just covering a bunch of different like sporting events that we have in the county. And I like more of the fanfare coverage. I'm not necessarily like all up in the nitty gritty with the stats and the play by play, but I do love a good sporting event. It's fun. People, especially when people can go, back in the day.
Yeah, back in our day, we used to be able to go to football games.
Well, and there's a lot going on down here with the equestrian community. We got
Yes.
spring training, we got golf, we got
Yes.
tennis.
Yeah. I went out to, what was it, back in February, went out to Roger Dean for Cardinals training and then got to see the Nats for spring training. They were playing the Mets over at the Fit Team ballpark at the Palm Beaches. And that was super, super cool. And like people come in from out of town for spring training, which I didn't really get until I was there. And I was like, people are coming in from vacation. Like they want to come out here, hang out, see their team in the off season. And
that's their spring break too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. So they all travel down here, and again, it's, America's pastime. So there's a lot of the Midwesterners that like to come down, and people from New York as well. So
I will say baseball is probably the sport that I know the least about. I don't know why. I just didn't grow up watching baseball. It didn't really intrigue me. But the older I get, the more I like it. And I don't know if that's just me getting old and like realizing that I need things to like kind of slow down.
Well, and I don't know of Alabama's baseball team. Do you?
There isn't one.
Exactly. Right? So you wouldn't.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't know.
No. The closest thing we have is like the Braves, I guess. So. Yeah, I think I have a Braves t-shirt. Like, that's just me trying to fit in, though. I don't know anything.
But, like, who cares about a baseball team when you've won, like, 5 national championships in the last, like, 8 years or whatever it was?
You said it, not me. Yeah.
Thank you, Nick Saban.
When I was in school, we won my sophomore year and my senior year. 2 national championships when I was in school at Alabama. And that was just, like, that's unheard of. It was so cool. Now, when we lost... You remembered it.
Oh, yeah.
2 losses the entire time I was in school, and I remember them. I think I cried when we lost to LSU. It was probably just like, the vodka soda's getting to me.
Yeah, definitely.
But there is something to be said about that energy on the campus. Mm-hmm. Like, when you're winning, it carries. Like, at UNF, the basketball team did really well one year, and the Gators did really, really well one year, and we had, our hop and a skip from Gainesville and Jacksonville, so we would go down and partake in the activities.
Yeah. Who was it a couple years ago? UCF went undefeated, and they were like, we're the national champions. I was like, you guys kind of are. Yeah.
Correct.
I think you might be. Yeah.
Your cousin might appreciate that one.
Yeah, the Knights, go Knights. And they earned it. They played very, very well that year. And it's just, that's the problem with a lot of the college sports, right? Mm-hmm. It's also very political too.
It is.
Well, and money.
Yeah.
Which was probably part of the politics.
Plus the SEC, there's no doubt that that's a stronger division or conference than any others, right?
Like, how many people are going to go to Pasadena for UCF?
True.
A lot, but not as many as
a
name brand.
I just feel like the SEC travels really well.
Sure.
I agree with you on that.
Because like you said earlier, it's kind of like people use that as their vacation. If their team makes it, they're like, this is my holiday. I'm going, it's their Super Bowl. We don't have a pro team in Alabama especially. So we don't really care about the Super Bowl. We care about the Iron Bowl. We care about the SEC championship. We care about the national championship. That was interesting moving down here because everybody was like, who's your team? I was like, Bama. And they're like, no, who's your team?
Florida fans are pissed.
I'm like, the Dolphins? I did grow up a Titans fan, but the Titans haven't sniffed a Super Bowl since 2001. So I'm like, guys, you're making it really hard on me.
Well, they had a good year last year.
They did. They really did. Yeah. And I think Tannehill will be good for them too. So we'll see if that works out.
Former Finn.
Yeah, former Finn. Look, we're following him. Okay.
So are they weekend segments with the station? Is that how it works?
Yeah. So what we do is these are mostly just like digital segments. So they go up online on our website, South Florida Weekend. And then they also can run on air. It just kind of depends on who it is. And we do a lot of editorial stuff. So a lot of the local businesses, we've been trying to get out and give them a little boost. I'm shooting a segment next week with, I want to say it's called Get Up and Go Kayaks. Mm-hmm. I might have gotten that wrong, but they're up in Jupiter. They have the clear kayaks. Yeah. It's super cool. We're shooting a video with them on Tuesday. And then, we just try to basically get the word out about, South Florida is so cool, especially here in the Palm Beaches. There's so much to do. Even in the times of COVID, you can get outside. We're so blessed in that we have the ocean, we have the Intracoastal, we can do a lot outdoors. And so we're trying to promote especially those type of activities. And
you can go wear a mask on your way into Guanabanas afterwards.
Exactly.
And have a nice cold cocktail or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to check out the beautiful Jupiter Lighthouse too, right?
Of course.
I have climbed it.
Have you really?
I climbed it, y'all, with a camera and a tripod.
Hey.
it was like in the middle of the summer too. It was the hardest workout I think I've had in years.
I'm going to go out there and say my wife doesn't know this, but that was one of the spots to propose to her.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't happen, but that was one of them. So she'll now know that.
What could have been? What could have been?
Surprise. So that's cool. So besides, like, if there's a sporting event in town, if there's a charity, if a grand opening, business you want to highlight, you guys kind of pick these stories.
Anything that we think, is, newsworthy that might not necessarily get covered on the 5 o'clock news. We want to be able to like tell those stories as well. And it's so easy for us to just write up an article and share it, especially on social media these days. And so we're blessed in that way we can help out local businesses. We also do like deals with local businesses too. It's almost kind of like a Groupon, but we call it Fox 29 deals. And we did one like a couple weeks ago with Shark Wake Park. I don't know if you guys have been out there.
Oh, we had Greg on the podcast.
Oh, you did. Yeah. He's so nice. He's the man. So we interviewed Greg and I think we did like a half off deal or whatever. And so they sold out in like a couple hours because people were jumping on it. But it's like, look, like we'll help you guys out. We'll give y'all some advertising. You let us do these deals or whatever for you. We'll get more people into the park. And it's just, so we try to do those kind of collaborations a lot.
And they have like a summer camp going on right now.
Yes.
And they had like a demo day where like the kids could watch all the pros ride. And we went out there as Media Zone and shot some video and got some drone clips for Greg and all them. And
I might have used some of your footage then.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Shout out to Media Zone.
I'm like, they sent over some really good drone footage. I don't know where it came from, but I used it.
Hey, well, really, like with us, like it's no shame. Like we love just helping other people. It's why we started this show.
Right.
And when you are talking like you're talking right now, it's like a perfect validation of why you're sitting at the table.
Right.
This is the most important time to promote small businesses ever. Mm-hmm. Like we had someone else on that was saying Walmart, CVS, these places all got bailouts. They're all going to be fine.
Right.
They've stayed open the whole time. They never had to close. But the mom and pop places, these boutique shops, these one-off water parks, these are the people that we really need to support right now. Order takeout one extra time a week than you normally would right now.
Right.
If you feel comfortable with that, because these people need it the most.
Yeah, they really do. And that's kind of the beauty in all this is I have seen the community kind of come together, and I've never seen businesses supporting other businesses like I have in the last couple weeks. Even restaurants like teaming up together, and they're like, look, if you want to go next door, go get dinner with them on Tuesday and then come to us on Wednesday. It's like, they're like, anything we can do to kind of boost morale and sales and help people keep money in their pockets, especially right now. It's important.
Cross-promoting, symbiotic, right?
Yes, exactly.
And what we're finding is that, everyone that comes on this show tells us their favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then we go there and we're like, man, that grouper sandwich was pretty good or whatever, and then it's like, now we made friends with somebody else and we're fans of that place.
Right.
And it's just a cool circle.
Word of mouth too is so good. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and promote Utiki potatoes if you've never had them. Have you guys had the potatoes?
Utiki's awesome.
The potatoes. It's like a hash brown casserole, and they bring it to you in this little ramekin, and it's like, I don't care if it's 105 degrees outside and you're sweating while you're eating these cooked potatoes. It's like the most enjoyable experience of your summer. I promise you. It will be, I mean, it's like little things like that. And so when, you say something like that, and the next time you guys go to Utiki, y'all gonna be like, oh, I think Megan said to get the potatoes.
Not I think. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah. So good. So good.
Well, so now that we're on this topic, you're going to have to shout out a couple other places.
Oh, gosh.
Bars, restaurants, beaches, activities.
Yeah. I'm a creature of habit. And I used to live up in Jupiter. I live downtown now. So I usually just like hit Clematis and just start running. So Rocco's is one of my go-tos, of course. I could literally drink the Austin queso. It's so divine.
I love
so
their
good.
guacamole.
Oh, their guac is so good. And they make it right in front of you.
Correct.
So you're like, I know what's going into this. And your hard work is going to be rewarded, I promise you.
Correct.
I'm going to tell you how much I love this.
And tip the guacamole guy.
Oh,
Got
heck
to.
yeah.
Oh,
Got
part
to.
of the process.
Tip the guac guy. Yes, exactly. Oh, what else? I don't even know.
So I'm going to throw out an Italian restaurant. I don't know if you know Santucci's.
Okay, I've never been,
Gotta
but
go.
I know I've heard of it. I've never been.
Gotta go. It's on the west side of Clematis.
Okay, what do you order?
Oh, you can get anything there. It's the most fine dine Italian restaurant you can find in downtown West Palm.
Okay, I was about to say downtown. Okay, where exactly? Because I will rival you with Evo and Jupiter for fine Italian.
Yeah, Evo's it's good, but Santucci's. So the owner is also the chef.
Oh, I love that.
And he typically goes back to Italy and cooks over there for about 4 or 5 months and then comes over here with new recipes.
Okay, he's legit.
Oh, yeah. So shout out to Santucci's.
Santucci's.
Would love to crack a bottle of red with that guy and just see where it goes.
Another one of our guests we had on, Barry Weinberg, him and I went to dinner there one night.
Yeah.
And Barry wrote this book, Eating Your Way Through Baseball.
Ooh.
And so, of course, we're going to sit down and have a conversation with the owner. And he's cooking mid-cook. He's telling us stories about what he's learning in Italy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's so cool.
Don't get much better than this. So it's cool.
And there's tons of chains to choose from here as well. But to go get an experience like that and meet somebody and make a connection,
Right.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
I was at Evo one night, and one of my friends was in town, and they have a pretty extensive menu. And he was like looking at it, and he was like, I just am craving like an eggplant parm. And I don't even know if they had it on the menu at that time. And the waiter was like, hold on, let me go get the chef or whatever. He comes out and he's like, you want eggplant parm? I got you. And like literally made him the most divine eggplant parm. And it was probably one of the most simple recipes, but he was like, if that's what you want, I'm going to give it to you. And it's going to be the best one you've ever had. So going into like restaurants like that where they're flexible and they really just want you to enjoy your dining experience, I love it.
Priceless.
A+.
Yeah.
You get that at local joints too.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily get that at chain restaurants.
And I know we talked a little bit before we went on air that your dog Murph gets a little jealous when you do one of your activities. Would you like to share what makes Murph a little jealous?
Oh, yeah. So I have started volunteering at Big Dog Ranch out in Loxahatchee, and I need to start going a little bit more than I have been. It's been kind of hard. They had to lay off a lot of their staff at the beginning of COVID. So they're desperately like, you can volunteer there right now if you really want to. They really need help. And the other day they had some dogs that were getting ready for like a transport. And it's hard for me to go during the week and volunteer just because of my work hours and whatnot. But they were like, hey, we need some people to show up and bathe these dogs that are getting ready for this transport at like 7 a.m. I'm like, oh, I can do that. That's before I need to be anywhere. So, you know, it's like, even if you can dedicate like a couple hours a week or whatever it is, if you can just show up and like work the gate, it's, you know, I think it's important to give back to the community, especially when they're out there doing, you know, that's just such a huge responsibility, especially when you don't have that many people on staff right now. So I've been volunteering out there, and we'll continue to do so. Really love it out there. I love all the dogs, the dogs.
They do so much good for the community as well.
They've lost a lot of revenue this year because they've had to cancel a couple of their big events because of COVID. So yeah, I mean, donations are always accepted. They're never going to turn away that. They have some great sponsors too, like Rachel Ray provides them with food and stuff for the dogs. So they're running a really cool operation. Even if you can go out there for like an hour and just walk some of the dogs, like it's so rewarding, you know?
And you get to play with puppies.
You get to play with puppies.
So like, can we just,
Yes,
this is a win-win for everybody.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun. But when I get home, Murph definitely sniffs me. He's like, where you been? What you been doing? I'm like, look, been helping out some of your brothers, okay?
I'm not happy, Mom. I'm not happy.
Yeah, he smells all the smells.
He does. I baked banana bread right before I left to come down here. I know I should have brought you guys some. I'm so sorry. I just realized I opened myself up to that.
We gave you a White Claw and you didn't bring any banana bread.
Next time I will.
Short end of the stick here, Spence.
I know.
Are you sure you're from the South?
I literally, as soon as I said it, I was like, dadgummit, I should have brought the banana bread with me. I made it for a friend, but I should have brought it with me.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm going to bring it for my
Murph
new
is
friends.
thanking you, though.
I locked my door and I walked down the hallway and I was like, I left it on the counter. I went back, moved it to the top of the fridge because he would get it.
Sure.
He would get it. It would be gone. Tinfoil and all. He's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
He's crazy. Yeah.
And the golden doodles can get pretty big.
Yeah, he's big. He's, I want to say he's like mid-70s. He was on a diet for a little bit. He lost some weight, but yeah. When he gets cut, it's amazing. He looks like a different dog because he has so much hair. It's like, I'm like, are you overweight or do you just have a lot of hair?
It's hot here in the South, Mom.
I know.
He's living his best life.
Yeah. It was interesting when we moved here. It was like we'd go on walks and stuff and he would normally do like a couple miles when we were in Alabama and then we came down here and he's done. He was like laying down in neighbors' yards. I'm like, I'm so sorry, my dog won't move. Like we're 10 minutes into a walk and he's like, gosh. I'm done. I'm over this heat. Yeah.
Drama king.
Yeah, basically.
And does he go swimming in Juno Beach?
He does. He loves the ocean. He's very friendly. So I love taking him up there. We go up to the off-leash dog park. Yeah. Or the dog beach, and it's fun. Sometimes I have to apologize to people because he'll just like run up, even if he doesn't know you, he'll just like lay down on your towel and like hang out and like, what's up? And I'm like, I'm so sorry, that's mine. But no, he's fun. He loves the ocean. He chases the waves.
That's cool.
And, I'm like watching him, like, oh, you dumb dog. Like, they're just waves, but he's cute.
I love Juno Beach too because we went up there a few weeks ago for sunrise, and everybody's dog knows each other.
Yeah.
And everybody's just so friendly out there, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a cool option for people who do have dogs locally, and everybody's so friendly. So, kudos to the Juno Beach. Beautiful sunrises too.
I feel like people are really good about bringing their dogs. Like, I've never seen any like fights break out or anything, and I don't know. No, I'm sure something's happened, but not when I've been there. I think people are really cognizant of making sure they're like not aggressive.
Go there specifically
for that reason,
for their dogs to play. Or if you don't have a dog, you could just go and pet like you just play with dogs.
I see people there sometimes and they don't have a dog, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, and they're like, this is why we come here, like so we can hang out with dogs. Sure. Yeah.
And not pay the vet bills and
go, gosh, yeah,
to the restroom at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. He gets me like 6 a.m. He wakes me up every morning and he doesn't bark or anything. I just open my eyes because I feel him watching me. And sure enough, I just look over and he's just staring at me like, all right, you done with this? Like, come on.
I knew you'd wake up.
I knew you'd wake up if I stared long enough.
That's so funny.
Freaking creepy.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I think it's a good time now for you to maybe give some kudos, some thanks, some shout outs.
Oh, gosh.
Friends, family, bosses, coworkers.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll give a shout out to all my Fox 29 people. My bosses have been great throughout this whole pandemic. I will say our parent company, Gray Television, amazing. When this all started, it was just not even a matter of like ifs, ands, or buts. They were like, all right, start working from home. If you can do everything from home, great. And like, if you're feeling sick, don't go into the office. And so I do appreciate my bosses for taking it super seriously and making sure that everybody's healthy. And, we haven't had to have any layoffs or anything. So we feel super fortunate with that. Shout outs. Oh, gosh.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Shout out to
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
If I give my dad a shout out, his head will be, I don't even think it would just,
If you do, just look into the right camera.
It would pop. I can't. Oh, God. Shout out to my dad. Thanks for getting me into the industry. Some days, I should say thanks you.
Pops. Yeah,
thanks,
Cheers.
Pops. I don't know. Thanks to y'all for having me on. This has been fun.
Hey.
Ubuntu.
Megan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and drinking a White Claw or a seltzer with us.
Yep, anytime. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Palm Beach Podcast, brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Indo Board, and Lotus Trips for travel and retreats to Palm Beach County.